I've said it before, I'll say it again, I will probably say it again tonight. You do not hate the mainstream media anywhere near enough. None of us do. They are blood sucking, worthless creatures that just exist to pat themselves on the back and try to steal your attention in order to get money. There was an article from Wall Street Journal, of all places, about, now I say of all places because Wall Street Journal is supposed to be about Wall Street. It is supposed to be a trusted resource for business news. It is not. It has not been for a very long time. We will get to, at the end of this video, a very old story from the Wall Street Journal. But they released an article titled Tesla Board Opened Search for a CEO to Succeed Elon Musk, subtitled With Profits and Stock Price Sinking. Board members told Musk he needed to spend more time at company. This is despite the fact that they were told before this article ran that was not true. They still ran with this article. So I don't have a subscription to Wall Street Journal, so I'm going to rely on CNN, as foolhardy as that might be, to summarize a little bit of what this article was about. Tesla dismisses report of board plan to replace Elon Musk. The stunning report highlighted, they're talking about the Wall Street Journal report, highlighted the volatility of the electric car maker has faced in recent months as Musk spent a significant amount of time working for the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, initiatives. Tesla's stock price had tumbled as much as 45% this year before recovering somewhat amid a broader stock market rebound. Now, this is kind of worthless information amid a broad stock market rebound because Tesla has never acted hand in hand with the stock market at large. In April, the company reported a sharp decline in both sales and profit in the first quarter, with earnings plummeting, saying nothing about the fact that the Model Y, the best-selling car in the entire world, went through a makeover. A shocking report that was perhaps overshadowed by Musk's announcement the same day that he would be stepping back from his government role and returning to Tesla. The journal said it was unclear whether Musk's announced return altered the status of the succession planning. There was no succession planning. Around the same time, the board began looking for potential new CEO. Directors told Musk that he needed to spend more time at the company, according to the report. Musk didn't push back, the journal said. Musk probably did not reply to the Wall Street Journal's emails or text messages or however it was that those ticks tried to get his attention. They would love to have Elon Musk's attention, but I want to highlight the way that this CNN article ends, too, because the article should have been, so, okay, you're CNN. You have the chance to attack Wall Street Journal and tear down their credibility, with whom you are competing, or try to keep tearing down Elon Musk. They try to sort of do both, but they don't attack the Wall Street Journal really at all. Instead, they end this article with the following. Musk may be itching to leave Tesla anyway. In recent months, Musk has expressed to a confidant that he no longer wants to be CEO of Tesla. An unnamed confidant. Ooh, how juicy. That person told the journal. Musk reportedly said that he was concerned that a replacement would fail to realize his vision to make Tesla a company that sells autonomous vehicles as its primary business. He has long stated this publicly. These are Elon Musk's own words. He has said for years now, he kind of doesn't want to be CEO. He wants to be the chief technology officer. That's what he would want to do. That's what he does at some of his other companies. That's what he does at SpaceX. For example, or essentially what he does at SpaceX. He said this publicly. You could quote Elon Musk directly in this article if you had half a brain and an ounce of gumption to find the quotes themselves. CNN does not. CNN does not. But he was motivated to leave anyway, perhaps after he lost another court battle to receive his astronomically high pay package, the largest for any public company on record. He deserves that pay package. That pay package was not gifted to him. He had to earn that, and he hit every mark along the way. It was twice ratified by shareholders. Once before, when these goals were just goals, and once after a Delaware judge, for some reason, the Queen of Commerce, self-proclaimed apparently, struck it down. Musk owns 410 million shares of Tesla stock outright, equal to 12.8% of the company's outstanding shares. Let's look at this. 12.8% of the company's outstanding shares. I dare you to go to, for example, Disney, and see what percentage of the company their entire board owns. It's not much. It's not a lot at all. He has also been granted options to buy an additional 304 million shares as his compensation for running the company since 2018. However, that compensation package has been thrown out twice by a state judge in Delaware, where Tesla used to be incorporated. Not any longer. Assuming those options are restored, he would control 22.2% of the company's shares. Members of the Tesla board testified, so his goal is 25%, because he doesn't want to be able to be overruled by activist investors. 25%, it's almost impossible for anyone to get that much of the company. Members of the Tesla board testified in the Delaware court case in 2022 that they felt it was necessary to grant Musk that massive package of stock options because of the importance of keeping him involved and focused on running Tesla. Well, if you want to have the argument, maybe Elon Musk gets to be distracted because dunces like a Delaware judge are refusing to let him be paid the money that he is rightfully owed. Now, Robin Denholm, more or less Elon Musk's right-hand woman, she is the CEO of SpaceX, has had the following to say. This through Tesla's official X account. Earlier today, there was a media report erroneously claiming that the Tesla board had contacted recruitment firms to initiate a CEO search at the company. This is absolutely false, and this was communicated to the media before the report was published. The CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk, and the board is highly confident in his ability to continue executing on the exciting growth plan ahead. Now, I don't know that I have ever seen Robin Denholm directly quoted by Tesla. I don't watch their X account religiously, but I think that this is really out of the ordinary, and I believe Robin Denholm is the head of the board at Tesla. So this has weight, right? This isn't someone working at Tesla issuing a quote, right? This is Robin Denholm, head of the board. This is Elon Musk, current CEO of Tesla. Now, Elon Musk has said on multiple occasions that he doesn't want to be the CEO. He doesn't trust anyone else to do it. He doesn't think anyone else really could take the slings and arrows that he has to take on a daily basis. Why? Because he is disrupting the car industry, a very large industry. He does not see eye to eye with the auto workers union, right? So he gets it. He was getting all sorts of guff before he decided to work with the government, before he started taking away people's free money in the government. So this has always been the case with Elon Musk, and these articles from Wall Street Journal and CNN do a very, very, very poor job of communicating those things. The CNN article what I don't understand about the CNN article, why wouldn't you do your best to tear down Wall Street Journal to disrupt their credibility, if any remains? That is your competitor. The fewer people read Wall Street Journal, the more readers you at CNN might have. Unfortunately, all of them are without credit. So does it really do any good for them to try to tear down Wall Street Journal? Now, I mentioned an old article from Wall Street Journal, and if you were on this platform, if you enjoy this platform, probably you remember this. PewDiePie says Wall Street Journal took anti-Semitic content out of context. Disney cut ties with video star. YouTube canceled his show in its subscription service. Felix, I don't know how to say his last name, Kjellberg, the YouTube star known as PewDiePie, apologized for content in one of his videos, but accused the Wall Street Journal and other media of taking his material out of context and scrutinizing his use of Nazi and anti-Semitic imagery and language. PewDiePie, once upon a time, was the largest creator on YouTube. He was the face, really, of YouTube. He was an edgy boy, right? He was a shock content master. Wall Street Journal, prior to the article, I couldn't find the original article, but this is an excerpt from their response to PewDiePie's response. They did essentially a hit piece on him. How many millions of people make Nazi jokes on a daily basis? Am I saying that it's the best thing in the world to do? I am not. Am I saying that it is the most kosher thing to do? I am not. That was the point of the humor. It was shock humor. They attacked him outright, trying to tear down YouTube at large. Why? This was 2017. I believe the original was in 2015 or 2016. This was 2017. And already it was very, very apparent that the mainstream media was doomed. The mainstream media was on the way out. Independent creators were on the rise. One guy, PewDiePie, I think he was probably close to the only one at that point, had reached escape velocity. He was never going to have to work again. He was never going to have to work again. Felix, for what it's worth, responded in a heartfelt way. Now, I'm not a big PewDiePie guy, never have been. I didn't really understand his content, I'm not a gamer. And I think that's kind of where PewDiePie started, was gaming, right? He took it to heart and really issued an apology. No, I don't know that it was the best apology ever. I'm not saying that. This, I think, was the beginning of the end for PewDiePie. I don't think he really creates anymore. They knew they were going to try to hurt him. There are plenty of creators they could have targeted, and especially at that time, when the edgy humor stuff was more readily available on the internet, they would have been absolutely destroyed by many other creators. People who did not take things as seriously. People who were not as heartfelt. People who did not take other people's opinions into account the way that it seems PewDiePie did. Now, PewDiePie had other run-ins. PewDiePie did other stuff that was stupid, right? I think this sunk him. Not because... I think that it fortified many creators behind him. Because seeing the mainstream media attack someone in that way. But he was not the edgiest. He was not the most foolhardy. Did a lot of stupid stuff, sure. There were other people who would have absolutely tried to sick their fan base on the Wall Street Journal. That wasn't PewDiePie. He was the largest creator, and he was not particularly vindictive. Those are reasons why he was targeted in the way that he was targeted. And here's the thing. Make no mistake. Today, it's gloves off. The mainstream media is gloves off for independent creators. So at the time, I think the zeitgeist behind PewDiePie was such that everyone saw this coming. Everyone knew that it was only going to get worse. Everyone knew that if PewDiePie was first, they could be second. And that has proven true. So all these people sort of backed up PewDiePie. And it didn't matter because the mainstream media is defunct. The mainstream media is done. They're derelict. And these are the death throes, in my opinion, of the mainstream media. Attacking anyone that they can. Attacking anyone that they can muster the conscious effort. And normally it doesn't particularly seem like conscious effort. It seems like just random words on into a keyboard. Anyone that they can attack, they will attack. They do not deserve our support. And frankly, I can't wait to see more of these organizations crumble. Once they start falling in mass, it will be nothing but a positive. Nothing but a positive for media, for the American people, for really the world at large. I think that being an independent voice, undoubtedly there are writers for Wall Street Journal, for any of these organizations that are good, that are hardworking, and probably even some that get wrapped up in this type of muck, right? Independent creators have to be 10 times as good to get a fraction of the attention. The more of and once they do, the rewards become triple what they could get from something like the Wall Street Journal. More independent voices are going to be nothing but a positive. The more of these organizations that fail and the guff that writes this type of article go with them, those people will not be able to carve out a niche for themselves, will not be able to build an audience for themselves. The good creators, the good writers, will have to work harder, but they will build their own audience. Anyway, that's what I have for thoughts on this. If you like or appreciate what I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, these are the types of stories sometimes that I cover on this channel. So consider hitting the subscribe button. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.